when we put him first in my heart, we can also then next, how we seek him, put him first, we put him first in my life. First in my life. First in my heart is invisible, but then it becomes visible. First in my life means first in my actions, in my decisions, in my attitudes, in my words. For example, I'm gonna put God first in my decisions. I'm gonna say, Lord, this, not your will, but not my will, but your will be done. I'm gonna follow your plan. I'm gonna lay down my plan for your plan. I'm gonna lay down my purpose for your purpose. And look at how this looks, this interplay between the invisible and the visible, between the heart and in your life. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. What might keep you from trusting in the Lord with all your heart? Lean not on your own understanding. A lot of times, our own understanding in our mind is running, and God just says, hey, trust me with all your heart. And don't think you have to get it all figured out, how it's gonna work, what's gonna happen. Trust me with all your heart. And then look at this, next verse, kind of tied in. In all your ways, in all that you do, decisions you make, externally visible, submit to him. Some versions say acknowledge him. Do it his way. Follow his path. He's got a path. And God will give you a way. Like, trust in the Lord with all your heart. And you go like, Lord, I'm just mad. I'm frustrated. I want to let him have it. And God says, forgive. And you go like, oh, I don't know if I can forgive. In all your ways, submit to him, honor him, acknowledge him, do it his way. And then check this out. And then he will make your paths straight. He's gonna bless you. If you trust him with your heart, if you step out and do it his way, don't do it like figure it out on your own, God is gonna bless you. He's gonna make your path straight. You're gonna become blessable. And so there's a lot of ways we can put God first in our life. We talk about these at Grace. For example, you put God first in your life by putting him first in your day. One of the best ways. Hey, Lord, I'm gonna put you first in my day. Now that can be chronologically. I think of it this way. Give God the first and best of every day. Make space for God that you would know him, love him, serve him, worship him, read his word. Give God your first and your best, and he's gonna bless your day. Give God your first and best of your week. That's what the Bible calls the Sabbath. The Sabbath, day of rest. Now I'll just tell you this, the human way, the kind of American way, is we work all week in our own strength, and we crash on the weekend and have a day of rest from our labor. Adam and Eve were created on the 6th day. They slept, they woke up on the 7th day, and what happened? It was a day of rest. Their first day was a Sabbath day of rest. Let me tell you this, in the Jewish mindset, the Sabbath day of rest is not the last day of the week, it's the first day of the week. And we start our week by giving God our first and our best and resting and trusting him that if I rest, he'll work. And I'm not gonna work in order to rest in my strength. I'm gonna rest in God and allow him to work in the rest of my week. And here's the faith that it takes. It takes some faith. The faith of the Sabbath and putting God first in your week says this, I believe, God, that if I rest and put you first in my week, that God blessing my 6 days as I rest and worship him on the first day, I'm gonna get more done and be more blessed than with God blessing 6 days than me trying to make it happen 7 days in a row every week. It takes faith. I'm gonna put you first in my week, 6 days blessed by God. I promise you it's gonna go further than 7 days you trying to make it on your own. First in my worship, God would say, hey, I want you to worship me. I want you to put me first. I want you to worship me with your first and your best. When your crops increase, give me your first and best. When you have a lamb that you're gonna sacrifice, he'd say actually that there would be a lamb without like the sacrificial lamb, that was Jesus, was a lamb without blemish, without spots. And he says, hey, give me your best. Because I look over there, I go, okay, we got some, 40 lambs. That one in the back corner, it's kind of got a little, hanging on by a thread. Let's just go give that one to the Lord. And God would say, no. Give me your first and your best. And see if I don't bless you. I'm going to honor you for trusting me. First in my relationships. First in my work and my career. First in my decisions in my college. First in my, get ready for a tough one. First in my money, dinero, finances. First in my heart, first in my life. And then Jesus talked about first in my finances. First in my finances. And actually, this is so fascinating. I want you to hang with me for a minute because Jesus got it super practical. He told, what he said, 38 parables that had to do with the kingdom. Do y'all know what this? 16 of them had to do with money, possessions, stewardship. 16 of the 38. Why did Jesus talk so much about money and possessions and stewardship and how we relate to it? Because Jesus was after our heart. Our heart. This is what Jesus said in Matthew 6:21. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Wherever your money is where your heart is. Where your heart is, your money is. Whatever you're passionate about is what you spend money on. And what you spend money on is where your heart is. So what Jesus would say is this. You say, hey, I love God, or whatever we say. And Jesus said, okay, that's awesome. Let me see your bank account. Let me see how you spent the money your last month or your last year. Over this last year, as I look through the statements, what I realize is that Kendrick loves golf. Which is true. I spend money about it. I think about it, okay? So Jesus says, where your treasure is, there your heart's also. Where your heart is, that's where your treasure is. Goes both ways. I love the poor and the needy. I care for the poor and the needy. I say, this is what Jesus would say, y'all. Don't get mad at me. Jesus would say, okay, cool. Show me your statements. I mean, you say you love the poor and the needy, and you really care for the poor and the needy. He didn't say, did you post about it? Did you tell other people they should be doing something? He would literally say, show me your bank account. I'm sorry, Jesus knows how to shoot straight, doesn't he? You can't say that you love the poor and the needy if you don't personally give to the poor and the needy. Can I put myself in the front of the line? As pastors, if I'll just give you a sneak peek into my world for a second. Pastors aren't generous when they give away advance the kingdom money. When they give away the church's money. Pastors are generous when they give their own money away. I got to lead the way. You only reproduce who you are. You got to live it yourself. You got to be it yourself. And I think that's very important, by the way. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about this. First, Paul said this: the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. You know, there's a lot of grief, there's a lot of pain when people are loving money and eager for it, pursuing, believing that somehow money will make them happier, healthier, safer, better, and people eager for it, pursuing it. It says the love of money is the root of all, follow the money trail. It's often the root of all kinds of problems. Now, let me just say this. The Bible doesn't say that money is the problem. It says that the love of money is the problem. Big difference. Money as a tool in your hand is a blessing from God. Money as an idol in your heart, it will have a hold on you. And let me just tell you this, money is competing for your heart. Money wants you to love it, serve it, pursue it, and it's competing. That's exactly what Jesus said. Matthew 6:24 says, no one can serve two masters, Jesus said. You'll either hate the one and love the other, you'll be devoted to one and despise the other. You can't serve both God and money. I mean, I might have said God in career, God in your family, God in money is competing for you in order that you would love it. Jesus said, money is saying, I'll make your life happier, better, safer, pursue me, get more of me. How do you know if you love money or not? How do you know if you love money? Now you might just say, well, Pastor, it's kind of obvious. I mean, if my spending habits aren't good, or how much I'm up to my eyeballs in debt, or whatever. Okay, maybe that's one way. But sometimes you can say like, well, I don't know. Do I love money? Do I not love money? Let me help you out, okay? Let me make it from the Bible, from the Word of God, make it really clear to answer the question, do I love money or do I not love money? Ecclesiastes 5:10. Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. Do you have enough money? Are you satisfied with your income? That's how you know if you love money or not. Rockefeller was actually asked how much money is enough. He said a little bit more. That's just in the human heart. Now, listen, I remember years ago Nan and I just bought our first starter house, and we're just having our first child, and a neighbor came across, and he was gonna like recruit me for some business, something. Anyway, the opening line was, hey, Kendrick, do you and Nana have enough money? Asking a young married couple who's having a baby, And I was like, honestly, I don't even know what to do with all of our money. We're just like loaded. He totally didn't see that one coming. It was awesome. I mean, listen, y'all, I graduated from college. I was making $17,000 a year. $17,000 a year? What do you even do with all that money? I had no clue. I'm like, I am so rich. I tell you what I did do. I went out and bought some Air Jordans. It was like, that's what you do with $17,000, But listen, I want to help you. I want you to win in life. I want you to do well. This is really a big deal. Let me just pause for just a moment. You know what we're doing in church? We're talking about money. And you go, oh, Lord, that's awkward. Churches, don't churches always talk about money? I probably owe you all an apology. We haven't talked about money in this church for 2 years. I went back and looked it up. Jesus, of his 38 parables, 16 of them were about money and possessions. And we haven't talked, and let me just tell you this, if I may frankly, why do I care about this? Why is this so in my heart? Is because this. I've got 5 kids. I've been very passionate to help them. I realize God and money want their heart. And if you get a right relationship with God and a right relationship with money, your marriage, your life, everything goes way better. And it's really a big deal. And so I teach my kids clearly, authoritatively. I don't tiptoe around the issue and go, well, would it be okay? I know it's a little bit awkward, but could I talk to you about money? No. I want them to win. So I teach them very clearly principles. Now, if I'm afraid to teach you and tell you the very things that I've taught my kids so clearly and authoritatively because I was afraid of what you thought of me or might be misunderstood, that wouldn't be love. That would be the fear of man. I want you to win. Y'all, we're doing great at Grace Church. Can I tell you, we have no financial needs at this church. 0. We live within our means. We actually do what Dave Ramsey says. We budget below what comes in. We've got more vision and opportunities than resources. And as the Lord provides, we do new things and take new ground. But we're good. I want something for you, not from you. You have to believe me. Jesus didn't talk about money, and God doesn't put it into his word because he's broke. He does it because he goes after the heart. I want your heart to do well. I want you to win. I want your marriage to do well, your life to do well. If you don't get this issue settled, if you don't win, how blessable are you? The only way you can break the hold that money has on you, can I tell you the secret is give some of it away. If you hold on to money, money will have a hold on you. If you hold it here, it's gonna get in your heart. You gotta give some of it away for money to become a tool in your hand.